Hey friends, it's me, Amy Rebecca, your internet bestie for all things personal development, intentional living and dream chasing, and a girl who is just trying her best. Today I have another monthly budgeting update for you guys. So we're going to be looking back at everything I spent in August, then we're going to be budgeting all of my salary and side hustle money out for September. We're going to be talking sinking funds, savings goals, paying off my debt, like never ending. So let's just do that. Actually, while I'm trying to find my spreadsheet, now might be a good time for me to remind you that if you're not subscribed, you should be subscribed. It's a good time here. We talk about budgeting, we talk about conscious consumerism, we talk about intentional living, how to live your best life and what that actually means for you. Okay, so here it is, my budgeting spreadsheet in all its glory. I take zero credit for this. I did not make this one. I got it from a company called CoPlenty. I will leave a link to their stuff down in my description box because I am an affiliate now, but I've been recommending their spreadsheets for years, way before I became an affiliate. They have different designs, different setups. You can get more in-depth ones or just kind of like beginner-friendly ones. 10 out of 10 recommend. And as you can see, once again, I came in under budget this month, which, my good grief, I cannot express to you how much of a miracle that is. I can't remember the exact figure, but when I sat down last month and we did the beep bop booping all our little numbers in, I realized that because I'd put stuff on my credit card the month before, my budget coming into August was bleak. And I did have many moments throughout the month where I didn't think that I was going to be able to come in under budget, and I did comfortably. I mean, I have £32.98 left over, which is great. I will say I did cheat a little bit because I had two quite substantial expenses come in right at the end of the month, and I knew that those would push me over budget, so I put those on my credit card. I'm going to pay for those out of September's budget, and as we will see, I will be paying for the price for that next month. But let's just celebrate this small victory for now, shall we? So I have £32.98 left over. Fabulous. And as you can see, going throughout the month, I really tried to hang on to as much of that money as I could. And you can see, like, throughout the last third of the month that I was clinging on to the last of those pennies, really not spending like barely anything at all. And yet, as much as I told myself that August was going to be a very introverted, chilled out, keeping to myself kind of month, it wasn't at all. August was so jam-packed full of things for me. I think I went out and did something every single weekend. I've been wildly social. I have been beep-bap booping all over the place. Who is she? We don't know her. My natural state is being a hermit. So the fact that I was able to get out there and do all these things and have all these really nice experiences and get out there and make the most of the last of the summer and still come in under budget, I think it just goes to show that if you are very intentional and thoughtful with your money, you can make it go a long way. So with that said, let's jump in and see exactly where my money went this month. So let's take a look at our expenses. For groceries, not all the groceries I ate in the month, just top up groceries between the big shop. I budgeted £10 and I only spent £3.29. Eating out, this did get slightly out of control. Now, when I say eating out, I'm not talking about, you know, very intentional plans with friends or going out with family to meet up for a special occasion, or even if it's just like a very intentional decision to go out socially. Eating out for me is more just like, can I get food outside my house so that I do not have to cook inside my house? And I did a lot of that this month. I mean, I went twice as much over budget, budgeted £20 and spent £41.90, so that wasn't great. Petrol, I didn't spend any money on petrol this month because I still had £50 left over from the previous month. I think it was actually left over from the month before that. I don't know what my car is running on at the moment, just thoughts and prayers I guess, because I haven't put petrol in my car for a really long time. Car maintenance, I paid £17.47 for my car insurance. And then I also put money into my car sinking fund, which was another £50, although I don't have that down in my regular expenses anymore. I don't know, I made some changes to my spreadsheet a couple of months ago and now I can't remember what I did or why. Once again, welcome to budgeting with ADHD. Nobody knows what's going on, least of all me. Gifts, I budgeted 30 and I spent 50, but obviously I was able to take that extra 20 out of my sinking fund. Health, I budgeted 35 and put 35 away in my sinking fund. For beauty treatments, I budgeted 50 and spent 50. For clothing, budgeted 0 and spent 0. Makeup, budgeted 0 and spent 0. Skincare, same, spent 0. Hair care, budgeted 15 and spent 10 on a new conditioner. Toiletries, budgeted 0 and forgot to defer my Wild deodorant subscription. I didn't need it yet, but it came anyway, so that cost £16.39. Could have done without that at this time, let me tell you. Books, budgeted 0 and spent £9.75. I bought a book for the first time in many months. There was a specific personal development book that I really wanted to read and they didn't have it in my library, so I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to splurge and treat myself. I will let you know how it goes. Takeaways, 0. Hobbies, wild. It's getting wild. So obviously, according to this, we are extremely over budget because I budgeted 140 and I spent £387.53. Now, a lot of that was paying off stuff from my pageant last month, and I had accounted for that in my pageant sinking fund. So even though it looks like I've gone insanely over budget, I haven't. I had the money set aside to cover that, which I know I say this every month, but sinking funds have been a game changer for me, and I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. Charity, my regular £17.50, some of that indirect debit and some of it for cash stuffing. Transport, I budgeted £5 and spent £6.60 just on parking. Trips, I ended up spending £26.55 towards airport parking for a trip that I'm taking in October. Again, that was covered by a sinking fund. Social, budgeted 130 and spent £132.25. When I put my mind to it, I'm actually really good at estimating my spending. Look at that, so close. Oh, and yet so far on this one, I budgeted 0 for drinks and I spent £35.20. So that didn't exactly go according to plan, shall we say. But when it comes to coffee, I was pretty close. I budgeted £7 and spent £8.40. Personal development, again, I don't know why I even put this in, 0. Unaccounted, which is the money that I literally lose, which happens every month, £2.96. Now, that's not much, so in a sense, that's okay. But where is this money going? I sat down for hours this morning, looking through my bank account, tracing every single purchase, lining it up with my spreadsheet. Why is what I have in my bank account not the same as what I have on my spreadsheet? Why are those two things not coming together? Why is the math not mathing? I had the calculator out, pen and paper. I crunched the numbers a bunch of times. I can't figure out where that £2.96 is gone. I don't know. It's starting to really frustrate me. And I know, like, this month it's a very small amount that I've lost, but it's frustrating because why is the maths lying to me? Subscriptions, I spent the usual. That's on like Netflix, Spotify, etc. And that is £26.99. And then miscellaneous. Oh, I budgeted £5 and I spent £23.34. Yikes. Yeah, those were all unnecessary purchases. I'm gonna hold up my hands. Okay, so like I said, with that, quick, don't be dramatic. Okay, so with that, like I said, I came in £32.98 under budget, and I am going to take that £32.98 and allocate it to one of my sinking funds. And this month, I'm going to put that leftover money into my holiday sinking fund because I'm going on holiday next week and I need money to do that. So that seems like a good use of time. And what are we today? The 28th. Okay, so now we should be down to 0. Excellent. Let's actually take a step away from the spreadsheet for a second because I do have something to confess. I made a pretty substantial purchase this month that I could not afford readily. I mean, I could have taken the money out of my savings, but one of the things that I'm really trying to work on this year specifically is not taking money out of my savings. Last year was just an absolute hot mess. I was pulling money out of savings left, right and centre, and I just lost the incentive to stay within my budget because I just felt like, well, it's okay if I go over, I can just pull it out to savings. That's not really what my savings are for. So I bought my pageant dress for next year. Look, I know my goal was to keep putting money aside into my pageant cash stuffing pot, and then next year when I had enough, go and have all that money ready to spend. The shop where I usually get my pageant dresses from, it was closing down and everything was less than 50% off. So I got a really good bargain, but it meant that I needed to buy the dress now. So my mom has lent me the money, which is great. Really appreciate that. It has put me a little bit further into debt. So even once I pay off my Vegas debt, which is almost done, I now have another £450 to pay off to my mom. It's fine, it's not the end of the world. I can make that work comfortably, but it is what it is. Okay, speaking of it is what it is, let's take a look at the situation for September, because like I said, I did put a couple of bigger expenses onto my credit card and kind of made that future Amy's problem. So let's see how much of a problem I have made for myself. Quite a substantial one, welcome. So first things first, my salary for my part-time job is quite substantially different this month. I had a cost of living increase and that got backdated to April. So they've taken all of that like backdated money and paid it all to me this month. So I got paid £1,478 from that. I made £15.60 from Vinted. I made £21 in my side hustle money. Like, girl, come on. And I'm taking another £150 out of my business account where all of my YouTube money goes. And then I have £327.28 from other. £250 of that was from a pageant sponsorship. So I got my first pageant sponsor for my upcoming pageant, which by the way, if you are a business owner and you would like to sponsor me, I am seeking sponsors. Let me know. Send me a little message. Would love it. Would appreciate you for life. So Vic from the Sanctuary Counselling, she sponsored me for my Galaxy pageant earlier this year, and she's sponsoring me again for my next pageant. So I appreciate her so much. I don't know if she watches my YouTube videos. I know she follows me on TikTok. But Vic, if you're here, thank you. Love you. I'm gonna leave a link to the Sanctuary down in the description box actually. You guys know I talk about the importance of therapy and counselling and seeing a professional to help you work through issues, big and small. I think it's really important and really impactful, and Vic is amazing. So she has a whole host of services on offer. I will leave in the description box. And then the other part of that money is from interest from one of my savings accounts. Should we talk about that now? Yeah, let's talk about that now. So usually if I get interest from one of my savings accounts, I put it into one of my sinking funds, and I haven't done that this month. I've just put it straight in as part of my budget, and you'll see why. So already we have quite a lot of expenses for September, given that technically it has not started yet. So first off, I have all of my usual expenses, so rent, investments, paying off my Vegas trip debt. Then we have all of my like bills and subscriptions, direct debits, that kind of thing, as well as my sinking funds, which I still refer to as cash stuffing, even though I now do that digitally. And then we have a few things that I know I have coming up this month, or that I postponed paying from last month. So for instance, I have to pay for tickets to see Come Alive the musical in London this month. I'm so excited about that. I'm not going till January, but I know I gotta pay for the tickets this month. I also last month got tickets for Red Shoes the ballet, so that's £62. I gotta pay for that this month, as well as tickets to see the Muppets Christmas Carol with live orchestra, £58.50, and worth every penny. I haven't even been yet, I already know. Kermit the Frog in a top hat, there's nothing more festive than that, and I cannot wait. As well as that, I know that I'm gonna have to pay for my Pilates classes, my dance classes, boot camp, and then I set aside obviously that sponsorship money into my pageant sinking fund. Are you still with me? Are you still there? In terms of my additional income for the month, my £150 from my YouTube money is going into my holiday sinking fund, as per always. That new £124 that I'm now getting every month because I had a rise is going into my pageant sinking fund. The £36.60 from the Vinted money and my side hustle income, that's going into the pageant sinking fund. And then the £164 extra that I got paid this month from my cost of living increase, that is going into my holiday sinking fund. And then, like I said, that interest that I got from my savings account, I am just keeping that in my budget to spend day to day, because as you can see, there's like no money left already. I spent so much money at the theatre this month. Why were you such a hermit in September? It's because I spent all my money on the Muppets. The saving grace potentially for me this month that might help me stay within this extremely lean budget is that I am going to be away for a week at the very start of September for my birthday. I'm going to Transylvania. I'm so excited. And if you want to see like Transylvania content, go follow me on TikTok and Instagram because I will be posting there. And then at the end of the month, I've got 4 days in Center Parcs on a family holiday. So both of those trips I will be spending from my holiday sinking funds. So even though I only have £182.14 to get me through the month, it might be enough. That said, it is my birthday month, so I do kind of want to treat myself. I mean, treat yourself. Girl, I'm going on 2 holidays in 1 month. You are treating yourself. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and break down my expenses for the month and see if we can keep this within the realms of what is possible for us. So groceries, I'm going to put another £10. I think that should be fine. I'm not going to be here for a chunk of the month anyway. Eating out, I'm going to put another 20. Petrol, I still have that same £50 in my petrol sinking fund since like June, I think. So I don't have to put any more money in there this month. Car maintenance, I will have to put aside my £17.47 for my insurance, and then I'm going to be cash stuffing £50 for just general sinking funds, so that's going to be £67.47. Gifts, I'll be cash stuffing 30. Health, I'll be cash stuffing 35. Beauty treatments, I'll be cash stuffing 50. I don't spend any money on clothes this month. I will need to buy a new eyebrow pencil. I think that's it. Skincare, I would love to buy a new eye cream. I just ran out of my favorite eye cream and is really expensive, so I don't foresee that coming to pass this month. We make do amend. I have another eye cream that I absolutely love that I can use, and that's okay. Hair care, I will need to buy new conditioner again. I'm just going through conditioner at an alarming rate at the moment. Toiletries, no. Books, no. Takeaways, no. Hobbies, £770.75. Okay, but how much of that is not going to come out of a sinking fund? Because a big chunk of this is like pageant money. It's like the last chunk of pageant money that I put on my credit card from June. And once I pay this off, that pageant is done and it's in our rearview mirror and I have nothing left to pay on that. So I will have to pay £24 for Pilates, £30 for dance class, £100 for boot camp, and £20 for gym membership. So that's 174. Let's call it 190 to give ourselves a little buffer room. Charity will be £17.50. Transport, let's say 5 for parking. Trips, I'm gonna put 0 just because it's all gonna come out of my sinking funds and not this budget. Social, I've already spent £202.50 just on theatre tickets alone, and I foresee myself being social since it's my birthday month. Let's say 260. Yikes, we are getting close to the mark here because my budget is 750 and we're already at 700. That's okay. Drinks, it's my birthday month. I'm probably gonna need a Prosecco. I'm just gonna put 10. Coffee, 7. Personal development, 0. Unaccounted, I would love for that to be 0. would love it. I've got £27 worth of subscriptions and I've already spent £22 on miscellaneous, which puts me over budget. Oh, but that's okay because I put in an extra little bit from my savings interest. I think that was £60 extra. So with that, I should be okay. I should be okay. My hair is just bothering me so much today. I hate it when it's straight because it just wants to morph back to its natural state of just wavy frizziness. Okay, so with that, if I'm careful, if I stick to these guidelines that I have set for myself, I should be fine and I should be able to come in under budget in spite of how much money I've already spent this month. I mean, it hasn't even started. We're still technically in August when I'm filming this. This has felt particularly erratic. Okay, last month I had a question about how I do my sinking funds and my virtual cash stuffing. Now, I used to do physical cash stuffing. I had little envelopes like this. And some of you who used to watch my budgeting videos last year will remember I used to literally take out cash at the beginning of the month and put it into the individual envelopes. In a sense, that's a really good way of managing sinking funds. I always find that I spend less when I'm spending in cash because I can see exactly how much I am spending and it's more tactile. I don't know. Psychologically, I think I'm just less willing to part with money as opposed to just like beeping my card. However, a lot of places now don't accept cash, or sometimes I would find that I wanted to buy something and I'd left my envelope at home, or it got a little bit confusing for me and it made more sense to switch to virtual cash stuffing. So now I use the Revolut app. This is how I do all of my day-to-day banking now. I will leave a link for Revolut down in the description box. Please note, this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. So what I love about the Revolut app is that, number one, I cannot overspend. When I was spending from my debit account that my salary goes into, I was going over budget all the time because I wasn't really paying enough attention to how much I was spending. Whereas with Revolut, all of my day-to-day expenses go through this app. So once I get down and it says to me, girl, you got £20 left in there, I know that's it, like that's it, I'm at the bottom of my budget. And it's much easier to manage my day-to-day expenses rather than with my debit account, because I had other like bills and direct debits going out to there, that it was harder to focus just on my day-to-day spending, if that makes sense. Another thing I love about this app is the built-in money pots. So you can see I've got one for beauty, I've got one for car maintenance, I've got one for charity, Christmas. All of the sinking funds that I have in my spreadsheet, I have little pockets for that I can put money into and take money out of as and when I need. I did initially, when I decided to switch to virtual cash stuffing, think, what if I just use a different bank account for each of my sinking funds? And that was a disaster. Having that many different bank accounts, it's too confusing. Then you're having to switch money between accounts. You start to get flagged as a money launderer. It's a whole ordeal, let me tell you. Whereas just having the pots all in one account, it's really easy. At the start of the month, I transfer my $750 into my Revolut account and I just ping it between all of the different pots. I like being able to see all the transactions in one app, and it's working for me. I know there are similar apps. I hear other people use Monzo, so it's worth checking out and like comparing. I do have a refer a friend link for Revolut that I will link down below. If you would like to sign up for Revolut, consider using my link because they'll give me money for that. And Lord knows, with £182.14 to spend for the whole of September, I could do with a little cash incentive right about now. Before we wrap this up, we're just going to quickly take a look at my side hustle income from August. This was what I actually made in August, not what landed in my account. It was, what was it, £22 or something that landed in my account in August. But this is what I actually made that will arrive in my account at some future date. So affiliate links, I made £33.87. That's not too bad. KDP, which is where I sell my book, I made £25.80. I've noticed a lot more people are buying my book recently. I think I talked about it last month. Who knew actually telling people that you wrote a book encourages them to buy it? I just forget. So thank you so much to everyone who's purchased a copy. I always link it in the description box if you would like to purchase a copy. I have Kindle editions as well as paperback. I hope you guys enjoy it. Digital products, ooh, slow month. I made £17.74, and then that is all. For a grand total of £77.41, that was a rough month for me in terms of side hustle income. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I believe that is everything. Oh my goodness, did that feel like a lot? That felt like a lot to me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that your budgeting is going well. Remember that we're not looking for perfection with this. I mean, hello, my spreadsheet is a hot mess most months. I lose money every month and I'm like, where did that go? Things don't always work out perfectly. We're not looking for perfect, we're just looking for improvements. Small improvements month after month, small shifts that you can make in your money mindset to help you spend less and save more. That's what we're looking for. Please remember that you are enough just as you are. I love you so much and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!